Meanwhile, in the murder shed.
That's the cold open. Hey, it's your lame friends again, sorry. So we have a new show that we're going to occasionally put out. It's called Pitch Imperfect. We are always coming up with movie pitches sincerely, but like half the time we're coming up with movie pitches or TV show pitches as a joke. And then half of the time we're coming up with pitches that are like to fix bad stuff. So let's pitch things that'll never be pitched.
Sounds good to me. I watched all the Santa Clauses. And I watched all of the Mr. Sunday movies along with the Santa Clauses. Let me give you guys a quick recap of the previous Santa's Claus. Santa's Claus? What's the plural of Santa Claus? Santa Clauses, right?
Santa's Claus.
Santa's Claus.
Santa's Claus, like attorneys general.
Yeah. But one thing I noticed when watching these is they grew up with the viewership. The first movie was a little kid movie. It was a family movie, a little kid movie. The second movie was him and his teenage angsty period. And then the third one was like, oh, now I've got to deal with like the family and I've got to engage with them and I can't just go off and play and I've got to be here and engaged with all of this family drama. And that's what it feels like to me, is the movies have kind of grown up. So my pitch for the Santa Claus 4 is, let's grow it up further. Father Time's dead. Both in reality, Peter Boyle is dead, and in the movie, Father Time is dead. He dies somewhere between 3 and 4.
Okay.
There's a new Father Time.
Does it happen like Santa? Are they all Venom suits? Like, does Father Time have to die near someone?
And you put on the watch.
And you put on the watch or something?
It's a good through line. I think we should go with that.
Okay.
I think we should say that's how replacements happen in this world.
The only example we've had is Santa, so let's just run with it.
Let's just run with it. There's a new Father Time. I was thinking like a Daniel Radcliffe who's trying to shake up everything. So he establishes the Time Force. First act of Time Force is they arrest Scott Calvin and Jack Frost for unapproved time travel because they screwed everything. Like, they could have literally ended the universe. I mean, that's just part of the movie. Like, it was bad. We start with them in a jail cell, which Tim Allen knows how to do. So he can help Martin Short out. The new Father Time is very strict, hates time travel. He gets to be your bad. He gets to be your big bad, right? He's
Okay, so there is a heavy in the fourth movie.
There is a heavy in the fourth movie, and it's the new Father Time. So the first act gets to be them getting out of jail. You get to do Shawshank with Santa Claus. What it comes down to is there's not been Christmas for 15 years. The world is going to hell because there hasn't been a Christmas.
The movie tells the audience erroneously the world is going to hell because there's no Christmas.
There you go.
Like, I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Like, Tim Allen tells the audience that the world is falling apart because there's no Christmas.
I know this is a yada, 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 but they do a prison break, and they get out, and they meet up with the Council of Supernatural Beings again. And the Council of Supernatural Beings has not had a good time either. So the Easter Bunny is now a born-again Christian who drinks a lot. The Cupid's dead. Father Time is dead. Mother Nature ended up basically...
No, okay, wait, this is way too dark. In a fit of protest, she just lights herself on fire.
If Aisha Tyler is still playing Mother Nature, a third of her should just always be on fire.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like, just her leg and like half of an arm.
And like a little like thing on the
burning,
side of her head.
Smoking and
Oh, that's fantastic. There's a B plot that I think would be interesting to do because this movie's happening now. And that is Amazon disrupting the entire gift process. So the North Pole is in shambles. Whatever the equivalent of reindeer being on blocks in the front yard is.
No, they turned the entire North Pole into
an Amazon
distribution center.
The joke would be that they made the South Pole a distribution center and put the North Pole out of business.
I'm thinking of something a little more than that, but I was holding off until you got through more stuff. And what's the B plot you were talking about?
The B plot would be Amazon. The A plot is them unseating Father Time.
Oh. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I do.
You got it?
Keep talking.
Okay.
What else you got? Because I think I put a spike through.
By all means, please put a spike through this. Really, I kind of petered out at the born again drunk Easter Bunny. I just love the idea of a born again Easter Bunny.
He would have to be screaming a lot about paganism and how bad it is.
Yes.
Which is hilarious.
Yes. Maybe we could even get Krumholtz back. That would be my dream, would be to get Krumholtz back as his general.
I already have a solution for that.
Okay.
In my idea.
Okay.
In the idea you've given me, I mean. So, okay. Hear me out.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready for this.
We're already in the landscape of a fairly dark movie. So let's go all the way.
Yes.
Let's go all the way with it. There is no heavy in this movie.
Okay.
Father Time is right. Santa Claus is wrong. Amazon is there to show him there is no Santa Claus. Whether that was always true or because Amazon has replaced him, it's a bleak ending that is fake pro-capitalism. The movie is pro-capitalism, but it's satire from us. Krumholtz is Bezos.
Oh, shit. Well, of course, because he would know how to run all of that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Krumholtz is literally Bezos.
Oh, that's
like
good.
He changed his name and shaved his head and wear a stupid fucking wife beater t-shirt or whatever it is he wears. Oh. Okay. You can open it with a storybook, like an actual physical storybook on camera.
Yeah.
Right? Once upon a time, there was a guy called Santa Claus, and he brought joy and blah, 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 blah. But what you might not have known was it was actually a symbiote suit. And there were many of these symbiote suits, right? And there was one for time, and there was one for nature, and there was one for love, and there was one for hiding eggs from children. The main staples of reality, right? But that part of it, that everybody else has suits to, is like a small part of the storybook, just to set it up. And then it talks about Santa Claus, and then it talks about the newest Santa Claus, and then it's Nick Frost in prison shutting that book to Tim Allen fucking hating hearing that story again.
I love that you have now made Jack Frost Nick Frost, and that is now canon in this movie. It's Ed.
Oh, no, I heard that, and my brain was like, yeah, Nick Frost. I didn't even think about it.
I know.
Forgot we were talking about.
But so it's okay. So Jack Frost. So it's Jack Frost in prison reading the book again. So the narrator is Martin Short. Then he closes the book and looks right at the camera and says, "But what this story doesn't tell you is what happens next." Hard cut to Tim Allen in the same location in middle frame, going, "I've heard this before. I've heard this every night. We don't have another book." And so then you cut to 15 years earlier, ... He's still telling Tim Allen this fucking story, even though Tim Allen's heard this story every night. But now we're going to do the rest in flashback. It's Father Time saying, "I don't feel that good." And then like falling over, and his watch falls off and it lands somewhere. And then it cuts to a film set. The director screams cut, and Daniel Radcliffe is a fucking asshole to just everybody around him. He plays himself.
Literally the words on it.
You could go a lot of different ways with this little scene because it's so short. Like all of a sudden my head was like, he's playing Robin Hood and he gets mad because somebody's taller than him, or he's pissed that Robin Hood can't use magic, right? And so they hit cut and he storms off a set and he finds himself a Rolex and he picks it up and he puts it on and he becomes Father Time, and he's not Daniel Radcliffe anymore. It doesn't work quite like the Santa Claus suit. You put on the thing and you become Father Time, but you become the Father Time that's based on the personality that you had before, and Daniel Radcliffe is a fucking asshole. So immediately he gets an eye patch and like a crazy wizard robe and a gun. Okay, so anyway, that's just sort of the funky beginning.
This is why I bring you these.
Then it's back to Nick Frost.
It's just him now.
It's just him now. Then it's back to Jack Frost, and they've been in jail for 15 years or whatever, like you were saying. They break out of prison, and it's a whole sequence, but it's just one sequence.
Yes.
And Jack Frost doesn't survive it.
Ooh, I like that.
Like you kill Jack Frost then,
Get him out
and
of
you
there.
make it Tim Allen and his son on the road.
Okay.
Because you have to bring him in. So he breaks out and he goes to the Council of Magical Beings or the Council of whatever. But you have to replace all these people that are dead. So I think the Tooth Fairy should be Mike Tyson.
I need a minute on that one. That's good.
Cupid's John Hodgman, and he doesn't want to work.
Oh, okay.
Like, he doesn't like love either. Everyone except for Aisha Taylor, the symbiote had to get somebody new for.
Okay.
And all of them are ill-fitting.
Okay.
So you got Mike Tyson, who became the Tooth Fairy because he punched the Tooth Fairy's teeth all out. The thing that you do to take the suit from the Tooth Fairy is you knock all of his teeth out, which he does in one punch, and he regrets it to this day. John Hodgman does not play John Hodgman as as Cupid. John Hodgman just plays a guy who got absorbed by Cupid.
Okay.
But he really doesn't like the concept of love. He was a virgin when it happened. Like, and
He's
so
an incel?
Yeah.
Incel Cupid?
Is where I'm going with that. Is an incel Cupid who was mad his whole life at not being able to get laid. And so now that he's Cupid, no one can.
Oh my. Incel Cupid is a whole movie.
Yeah.
Incel Cupid is a whole new pitch.
Yeah. So I was trying to do these all warped, right? So you've got Nick Frost, who kind of wants to be. I'll just take the whole thing from the top. What I was trying to do is all these avatars, but do them warped, right?
Yes.
Because you have Jack Frost, who wanted to be Santa Claus in the third movie,
Right.
and he fails. But if he had succeeded, that's the weird warped
Yeah.
Santa Claus. And so Santa Claus doesn't have this, but everybody else has what the third movie had, which is a warped version of their avatar. So you've got Mike Tyson as Mike Tyson, who is now the Tooth Fairy and does not like it, but he punched the Tooth Fairy's lights out, and so now he's stuck. The Easter Bunny, born again Christian, great. I have no notes. You got John Hodgman, who is like the incel Cupid. And so then you've got Aisha Tyler, and she's over it. She has no interest in helping anybody anymore. She's on fire. Anytime her motivations are questioned, that's her response. And then there's also Bigfoot. Bigfoot needs to be in this, and he is the avatar of the internet and conspiracies.
I love it.
He showed up one day and no one could get him to leave. And Santa Claus, Scott Calvin,
Yes.
gets away.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then because of that, he can't look like Santa Claus.
Right.
Right? So he has to go into hiding somehow by changing his appearance. And so you get that for the fourth movie because it's been in all three.
Right. You do. That's perfect.
Is him on the lamb. And my idea is a fake brown beard over his white one.
Yes.
Right? Like it's that level of bad. He like shaves and stuff and it all comes back all at once. It's that thing we were talking about.
Yeah, the morphing.
So you can't do that.
No.
Like he can't like shave his head and shave his beard and put on a biker jacket. But he can put on a biker jacket. And he can put on a fake brown beard. You can see the white beard underneath, but from a distance. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody wants to help him.
Right.
Like, they tell him no. Like he finds their cave to ask for help, and they can't. Like some of them are incapable and some of them are unwilling. So somebody gives him, who would it be? We might have to bring a new avatar into this, but somebody gives him something that provides some cloaking mechanism or something from Father Time.
Okay.
So Daniel Radcliffe can't just see
Scott Calvin.
immediately because he's Father Time, right? He's being hidden, right? So that's where you get the beard and the...
Right.
But Scott Calvin comes to the realization that the only way to solve this problem is to pass the torch to his son. Like, he's got to be the new Santa because Father Time can't arrest him. He never did anything wrong. Like, it's time for Scott Calvin to stop being Santa.
Right.
But the only way to stop being Santa is to die. But there's something there where that's not true if this, and that's why there's the road trip.
So you get another clause.
Renegotiating the clause? So you have to find the person who wrote it in the first place? Like,
Oh,
not God, but like someone
That's
else
good.
you have to find so that you can renegotiate this.
That's so cool. We're gonna have to chew on that for a minute because now what I'm thinking on that is it's Father Time that wrote the contract.
Yeah, why not?
Right? But the loophole idea that you kind of just brought up and the renegotiation, that might be how the whole end of this pivots. So then you've got the road trip part. Around this time is where you start getting the indications that the world is not falling apart because Christmas hasn't been happening. He goes to get his kid to make him the new Santa Claus. And you start getting indications that the world's been fine and Christmas has been happening. And when he gets to the kid, he's been missing for 15 years. Christmas has been going fine, but his kid hasn't. And his kid's like, no, I have kids. I have a job. I have responsibilities. I'm not going to do that, Dad. It's been fine without you. And that motif, it's been fine without you. Now you're in the deadbeat dad metaphor.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been gone for 15 years. His kid makes the argument he's been gone for longer than that. You've been gone since you became Santa Claus. It was fun when I was little.
Yep.
And then as I got older and older, you had less and less time for me. And so he doesn't have any interest in this. But he takes the road trip with his dad you'd have to come up with another reason. You'd have to come up with something to motivate the kid to come with. Oh, that's it. That's part of it. Tim Allen doesn't tell him what the road trip's about. At the end, when his kid finds out that that's what this is about, he's furious. I'm not going to do to my kids what you did to me. Like it's the deadbeat dad metaphor.
Right.
Santa Claus is posing this to his kid like his kid is helping Santa Claus not to become the next Santa Claus.
Right.
So Daniel Radcliffe is hunting Santa Claus, and all you get from him is a combination of Obadiah Stane from the first Iron Man movie and Hades from Hercules. Give him some friends to like yell at. So let's make that Rupert Grint.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's just say that it's Rupert Grint. Rupert Grint and Daniel Radcliffe were all both in Robin Hood. And
Yes.
he gets them fired at the top.
Okay.
Right?
That
And so
sounds
now
good.
Rupert Grint just works for Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe is getting more and more upset that Rupert Grint is not able to kidnap Santa Claus.
Okay.
Right? And at one point, I mean, he's yelling at Rupert Grint. It's just like, just use your wand! He used to be Daniel Radcliffe, and now he's Father Time, so he's a little bit detached from reality, but now he's Father Time and not Daniel Radcliffe, so now he has no idea. Rupert Grint keeps calling him Dan, which pisses him off. He legitimately thinks that Rupert Grint is a magician, right? And he's super mad that he won't just use magic. You make Daniel Radcliffe in that first scene also hate Christmas. And you really call attention to it in the most ham-fisted Gremlins 2 Lincoln's birthday speech or whatever. In the middle of all that stuff, he just stops and hates Christmas. I think then the closer Santa Claus gets to his goal, the more and more upset Father Time is getting. And then it comes out that what he really doesn't want is Christmas. He just doesn't want the magic of Christmas. He doesn't want magic to be a part of Christmas.
All right.
He wants it to be family. Give him a valid point. Like Christmas is supposed to be about family, and if you make it about magic and you make it about Santa Claus, you take away the thing about family.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be about family. Okay. I think we should just crank the satire up to 11 and start putting in fake holiday cheer Amazon commercials
Okay.
throughout the piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time, it's not going to be that intense. But every time there's a fairly big tense moment of near escape or whatever, right? Right at the apotheosis of it, you cut to the Amazon commercial. Amazon, like we care or whatever.
Right.
Interrupt every beat with an Amazon commercial, wherever it's appropriate or whatever. Have Amazon trucks everywhere, everyone talking about ordering stuff from Amazon.
The drones.
The Amazon drone shows up to deliver the fantasy avatars what they've ordered while the Santa Claus is still there to witness it. Well, I mean, at one point, Aisha Tyler will be opening up a package and being like, it's literally setting me on fire, but it's such good deals. So then somewhere in this plot, the fourth time or the third time that Rupert Grint fails to successfully capture Santa Claus, then you have Father Time say, it's fine, I don't need you anymore. I have a secret weapon. And the doors open and it's Krumholtz. But you don't know it's Bezos yet. So
yeah.
you think he's getting his old friend to help hunt him down.
Yep.
Which he is.
He is.
Father Time is the one that helped Krumholtz become Bezos in like the first place.
I like the idea that Father Time gave him the piece of code that allowed the Prime 2-day shipping algorithm to happen.
Yeah, Father Time is responsible for the 2-day shipping thing that really made Amazon explode. Okay, so now you're kind of getting toward the end, and I don't have a specific ending in mind. Like maybe we'll come up with one and talking about it, but just the concept of where this is all heading is Jeff Bezos is helping Father Time capture Santa Claus. Whether he does or not is irrelevant. They're going to get to where they're going. The son is going to realize what's going on, reject the entire thing.
Yes.
Then, before anything else happens, something happens that basically proves to Santa Claus Scott Calvin he's wasted his entire life, not only as a person, but as a mythical being, because this stuff does not matter. Christmas is about family, and there hasn't really ever been magic in Christmas. This was a Venom symbiote messing with the logical order of things that would have worked totally fine without him. He has always been superfluous. The final beat of this movie is he gives it to Bezos. He just gives the suit to Bezos and nothing changes. David Krumholtz just becomes Fat Santa Bezos. And everything keeps going the way that it was. And Scott Calvin is now human again because he's given up, because he realizes there is no magic in the world. His kid still rejects him. The credits is just him drinking.
It's kind of a good message, ultimately.
Kinda. They have all these things that they're not playing with, and they have all these things that they're not resolving, and the third movie screwed everything up. But anyway, you can kind of fix it. You can kind of put it all back on track. So it's a little bit of a prison break movie. It's a little bit of a road trip movie.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a reimagining of old fairy tales. That's the other part that I kind of forgot to mention, and I don't have anybody specific. There's got to be one mythical being that's not in that cave that we've already talked about that helps them for a while.
And it's Nick Frost.
Whoever it is, it should be Nick Frost now.
Whoever it is, yeah.
Yes.
We could do Leprechaun.
Sure,
You
those
know.
don't exist, but yeah. I think it would be better if it was something really very similar to all of these. I don't have anything. Nick Frost could play Mario. I like the Bigfoot thing being the avatar of internet and conspiracy. So something like that, maybe. The mythical being that helps them for a little while, maybe should be really new.
Okay.
Like, I joked about it for a second, but I was like, he's Mario from Mario. And his whole concept is like, yeah, enough people think it's important, and I guess you kind of become it or whatever, but that doesn't mean that I'm useful. Like, American Gods sort of plays into this a little bit.
I guess, it would. That's another reason not to like Leprechauns. It's an American Gods.
Which is ridiculous because leprechauns don't exist. Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil.
Like Nick Frost.
Actual Tom Bombadil.
Nick Frost playing Tom Bombadil.
Actual, yes.
Right, is the guy that helps them out. That doesn't work. I'm too much of a Tolkien nerd. He would never leave the forest. Tolkien was Tom Bombadil, and he's dead.
There's another one. Someone stepped into the Tom Bombadil role.
Put on the yellow boots, man.
Tolkien died, and so someone had to replace Tom Bombadil. Like,
and it's Nick
and
Frost.
it's Nick Frost. Never found me a river maiden. But anyway, the end of that movie is a good-natured atheistic argument in some ways. The magic wasn't real, but it was inside of all of you the whole time. Father Time breaks Santa by taking him to the mirror on the wall and just showing him what it's been like for parents without Santa Claus. And it's just happy parents putting presents under trees for happy kids. And Santa Claus can't handle it. The whole quadrilogy now becomes... He became Santa to avoid being a deadbeat dad. Isn't he not a good father in the first movie?
He is not a good father in the first movie.
So he was never a good father throughout the entire series. And that's what he comes to terms with. That this whole thing was a way for him to abdicate his responsibility as a father. And now he's paying the dividend. And it amounts to nothing because what he didn't do was love his son. It's the original sin of the series.
Yeah.
And because he didn't love his son, the kid hates him through the whole movie. They never reconcile because it's too late. You leave it with the try not being Santa for a year and then we'll talk. Be a human being without magical powers for a year and maybe I'll let you meet my kids.
somewhere in the middle of the road trip part of that movie, you have his son like desperately trying to connect with him and him like literally turning around and like giving kids presents like on the side of the street that they're just coming by because he's Santa Claus. He's like, I have to like spend.
That's so smart. That's so smart, especially if you're going with this whole metaphor. During the road trip, his son is trying to connect with the person that he is, not the Santa Claus that he is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And he's constantly being interrupted by his dad being Santa instead of being his dad. And at one point, there would even be an argument about how just like Judge Reinhold, you didn't believe it, blah, 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 and you just got to believe, and the kid finally is like, what are you talking about? I know you're Santa Claus. This wasn't a lack of belief. This was a lack of love from you. You loved everybody but me.
No, I don't know how it would fit, but you could have Tim Allen, Santa Claus, like be trying to do his thing where he knows what every person wants for Christmas. But for the last 15 years, he hasn't known what his own son wants. Everyone else, but he doesn't know what his son wants for Christmas.
What you just said might be better than what I was thinking thematically, but what I was thinking is he doesn't know what anybody wants anymore. There's something to not knowing what his kid wants, but I also think there's something to getting everybody wrong. We don't have a name.
Oh, for the Santa Claus 4, because it's always got the subtitles.
So does it need a title?
The final clause?
Easy. That'd be easy.
A new clause. We never really went into the renegotiating the contract thing, but if that was part of it.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah. Is there a term for an expired clause or for like a contract that is expired? Like, is there a legal term for a contract that's expired?
Probably. Lapsed.
Lapsed clause.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very good.
I mean, we could also just call it like Santa Claus end game. I mean, like at that point. Infinity War works.
Or a brand new bag would be fun, but it doesn't fit the clause.
It doesn't fit anything. No. It's so at odds with everything.
It is
that
so
we
at
just
odds
said
with everything.
That maybe that's why you name it that. The reindeer are dead.
Santa Claus the reindeer are dead.
I know.
Whatever.
No one's been taking care of him.
No one's been taking care of him.
He goes to find him and it's just bones.
It's the title and then the one shot of bones. Comet's there with like cobwebs and
Rudolph's nose is still kind of
there
flickering.
There was never a Rudolph.
Oh.
I think because it's copywritten.
Is Rudolph really not that old? Like the actual story of Rudolph?
Rudolph's from the 50s or the 40s. The guy that made up that song made up the reindeer. I'm pretty sure. There was a renaissance in the 40s and 50s where they were making up Santa Claus stuff.
I'd actually forgotten about that part, that all of like the Santa Claus that we know
The
was
red
something
suit
that,
and the white
yeah,
hat and all
it's
that stuff, all
Coca-Cola,
that was
like
20th
way back in the
There's
50s, yeah.
another piece to this story. Father Time made him, but not. He made him in the 40s. Like that suit was from the 40s. You didn't even exist before then, and there's already been 100 of you. Why do you think you matter?
Something like that. Something like that. Oh, I know who helps them.
There we go.
I know who helps them in the middle.
Who?
It's not Mario or Tom Bombadil.
Saint Nicholas?
It's Saint Nicholas.
It's Saint Nicholas,
It's
yeah.
Nick Frost playing Saint Nick. Yeah.
The meta is
Yeah.
already off the charts.
Yeah.
And that is just the cherry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
He had powers.
He had powers.
Until the 40s. And then someone made up the myth of Santa Claus that was so powerful it became a different thing.
It's Santa Claus and Jack Frost. They're both aspects of what...
Yeah, he split like the Skeksis.
And so that's
Yeah.
why Nick Frost wanted back in, but he wasn't actually Santa Claus, which is why Santa Claus got all the power and Jack Frost was left out in the
Yes.
cold. That's why he wanted to come in the first place. Him sacrificing that was like enough to give Saint Nick some of his power back.
Actually, that tracks
Yeah.
anyway. Santa Claus used to herald winter
Yeah.
and the coming of when he had the
So
corn.
Saint Nicholas.
Yeah.
It used to be Saint Nicholas. And then it got split into Jack Frost and Nick Frost. Jack Frost became Martin Short as a creepy little frosted dude that's in the third movie. And then Nick Frost looks kind of like Santa Claus, but he
Yep.
doesn't have any powers.
Yeah.
So he became an actor. When Jack Frost sacrifices himself, Nick Frost gets powers.
Because it's like Highlander rules or
Yeah.
the one rules.
Yeah. And then kind of knows what's going on and wants to help Santa. Okay, with that addition, now we're making two movies at once.
Yep.
But fuck it, we would find a way to integrate them. At the end, when David Krumholtz, the former elf, who is now Jeff Bezos, takes over the Santa Claus suit and nothing changes,
Right.
Nick Frost is in just the background going, "Come on! You didn't want the fucking suit tool time? That's fine. Why'd you give it to Bezos? I helped you out, man!" But if you were actually making this movie, which would never happen, and you got Nick Frost, and you got everybody else to agree to all this stuff, of course Simon Pegg would show up
Of course he would.
and come with a script for you finally get to play
Yeah.
Santa Claus. And that's supposed to be a little happy ending, right? And at that point, Nick Frost is like, "I don't want it."
Okay. I don't know how you work this in, but Jeff Bezos takes the suit. He's like, "You gonna put it on?" "No, I got better ideas." Then you do your, top men moment from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it has people tearing apart the suit to upgrade the algorithm to know who's naughty and nice, and to know what people want.
Okay. So Santa Claus gives the suit to Jeff Bezos, who puts it on, which is what happened in the first movie, right?
Yes.
Like he gets drunk and puts it on or something.
Well, no, he just puts it on
Because the card says he's got to put it
card
on,
says he's
and
gotta put
his
it on,
kid
it's correct.
convinces him to.
Okay. So
You're a bad dad. Okay, fine, I'll put
right.
it on.
So Jeff Bezos puts on the suit, and nothing happens. Nothing changes. There's no magic. There's no whatever. That's how you get Father Time to turn to Tim Allen and say, "All you did was mess everything up. All you did was abdicate your fatherhood and responsibilities if you just loved your son. All of this was unnecessary. You only caused pain in the guise of joy." And it just like breaks Tim Allen, right? So Bezos takes the suit off. Only post-credit sequence in the Santa Claus series. And it's just the suit in a grotesque science fiction. Everything is plugged into it.
Yep.
And it's just pumping some juice out.
Yeah.
And you just kind of hear this "kill me"
Yeah.
kind of thing come from the suit, and it's plugged right into the fucking algorithm. And then it's Bezos like kind of doing the Mr. Burns like, "And now no one will be able to stop us," or whatever. And just Rupert Grint is also there going,
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
We got a little bit sidetracked. We never actually came up with the name. We had a couple ideas, but I don't think we landed on anything specific.
Santa Claus cubed. No, that doesn't work.
4 Claus for Christmas?
Yeah, 4 Santas, 4 Clauses.
No, I was about to say, because we've got...
That actually works for the movie.
Yeah, for Santa's for okay, all right.
I'm not gonna call it that,
No.
but that's hilarious. Santa Claus Beyond. That's making fun of Star Trek at the same time it's making fun of itself. That's good.
Santa Claus, call me by your name.
I was trying to come up with a Santa Claus old boy joke and get super weird, but I didn't have a landing for that anyway.
Santa Claus Forever After.
I kind of like Santa Claus forever.
Or Santa Claus and Robin.
Santa Claus and the Curious Case of Daniel Radcliffe.
A series of unfortunate Santa Clauses.
I mean, that's ultimately what the name of the series is.
I still don't think we have a title.
If you have a title for this movie, please let us know in the comments. If you have a title that's better than ours, it is.
So we're just missing a title.
Yep.
So if you've got one.
This is a really fun idea for this movie.
It's pretty baller.
Hollywood, you cowards, give us money. Give us money. Did you hear the magic that just happened?
If every episode of Deep in the Amazon ends with "We're sorry," every episode of Pitch Imperfect ends with "Hollywood, you cowards."
Hollywood, you cowards.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Shane Black, you can direct. Shane Black, you can direct. Shane Black, you can direct.
Jesus Christ. All right.
That's good. I like that.